Joining us for a moment or two is Cattle Commissioner and Shreveport mayoral candidate Stephen Jackson. Hey, Mr. Stephen, welcome to KEEL. How are you today?
Good morning. Welcome. I'm glad to be back on.
An interesting day, couple of days to say the least. Walk us through the timeline. Tell us in your words exactly what has occurred over the last, say, 36 hours or so.
Well, I think it's fairly simple. I've received a couple phone calls. I only answered it once, but it's a strange number, and it's not a local number. But I received a phone call, basically using an expletive saying, "Get out of the race. We know who you are. We don't want exposure." And then yesterday, as I normally do, go and check the mail, I found a packet on the ground with my name on it. No stamp, no postage, basically.
Pardon me, Stephen, when you say packet, you mean like a manila envelope, a box? What exactly? What?
Yeah, an envelope.
Okay.
An envelope.
Okay.
An envelope basically saying, leave our statute, leave our property alone. And it uses the expletive again saying, "Get out of the race." Very disturbing. That's pretty much it.
What was the first thing, not only the first thing you thought, but what was the first thing you did?
Well, the first thing I thought was, we know that during the campaign season, things get a little silly. And I immediately thought back to just some previous incidents where this took place. First thing I did was reach out to some folks who I knew in law enforcement to report it. These things like this need to be reported. We know that hate speech and hate crimes more often than not go unreported. So was to try to figure out which law enforcement agency is the most appropriate to take care of it, and to get in contact with them.
And you contacted state police?
Correct. They have a web portal that you have to go through to report the information. I think you do like a preliminary report there, and then they follow up from there.
Have you turned the letter over to them yet?
No, it's actually we put it in a box. In fact, the pictures that are being shown is not the actual pictures, just a copy.
Okay.
Now, the content of the note read, pardon me, "Leave our statue and property alone and get out of the race," followed by a racial epithet. Was this similar in content to the phone calls you'd received?
Yeah, very, very similar. And so I think whoever made the phone calls have been making the note. That's just.
Stephen, you have your suspicions. What do you think? Who did this?
I don't know, and like I said, I've never been in the business of just pointing the finger at anybody. I do know that there was. I do know that there was a period of time where folks were trying. I think it's interesting that just a couple of weeks ago, there was this obsession with where do you stay or where do you stay, and then all of a sudden, just things just start popping up at my doorstep. I think this is a example of why we should use mailing addresses. It's okay for us as public officials to disclose certain things, but when we get to the point where people feel emboldened, so confident that and I'm not saying that those persons who were carrying that message did that, but it puts information out there and it makes us more vulnerable. And again, I'm a public official. I don't have a problem being under the public microscope, being under the public eye, but at some point, some things just have to be off limits.
Stephen Jackson, candidate for mayor. I have to ask you this because I've gotten tons of texts, emails, etc.
Sure.
How do you respond to folks who say you did this yourself for the attention?
Oh, no. I think anybody who will look at what has taken place in America and anybody who looks at what we're dealing with here in Caddo Parish with the monument, this is clearly an act of hate, an act of hate speech, and so we're going to turn it over to the appropriate authorities and let them follow up.
Do you think this is more a reaction to your stance on the Confederate monument, or do you think it's or more related to your mayor run?
I think it's more the monument issue. I think you've seen that the case was tossed out, and I think it's trying to marry the two, the race and the monument issue. And so what you see is individuals, I think, realize that we're going to be successful at the end of the day. Legal challenges.
Stephen, I have to tell you, I was sent, I don't know if Robert was, but several other members of the media were sent emails with arrest records of yours at the same time this is all happening. Do you think this is a concerted effort to get Stephen Jackson out of the race?
With what kind of record?
Arrest records. There's, with regard.
No, Aaron, I've never been arrested, and that's a fact. I've never been arrested. I've never been charged with anything, so I want to be very clear about that.
Okay.
And so that's something that really needs to be cleared up. Is I've never been arrested for anything. People can file whatever kind of complaint they want to file, and I'm going to let my personal business be my personal business. I've resolved everything in my personal life. I've moved on, and I respect those persons. We're moving on. But I've never been arrested. I think that needs to be very clear, made very plain. This is the type of stuff that does not need to be haphazardly said out there that I've been arrested or charged with anything, because I haven't.
In your news conference yesterday, you said, this has a lot of people are bringing up, old business of yours. Do you think all this is connected, Stephen?
Again, I'm not the one to try to sit here and piece this together. That's what the law enforcement agencies will do. We know that in campaign season, we saw this happen with Mayor Tyler. Somebody went and dug in her background. We saw this with Sam Jenkins. Somebody went and dug into his background. Cedric Glover, at one point, someone was saying that he was accused of doing drug activity. These are the type of things that we don't need in politics. People are hurting in this city. We have crime every day. We need jobs. So we need to be focused on talking about a plan and a vision to move Shreveport forward, not digging in somebody's background.
Stephen, are you sad that we're still getting such racially divisive speech in 2018?
Oh, absolutely. It's very sickening. It's very heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking that public officials have to endure some of these things. It's very heartbreaking that the public has to do it. But I think the media has a responsibility to address these, report them, and help our country and our community understand that this is not who we are as a nation, and to debunk mistruths that are out there as well. The thing that you just said about some arrest workers, the media has to do those things, because when we allow folks to be demonized and mischaracterized, it's unfortunate to us. I have a life to live after.
If the person who sent you this is listening to you right now, what do you say to them?
I say that I love you. I'm praying for you daily. There are some sick people out there, and we have to pray for them. But do know that we're going to turn this over to law enforcement, and if this is something that they plan to continue, at some point they'll leave enough receipts, as the 21st century saying is, they'll leave enough receipts to be caught.
Stephen Jackson, Caddo Commissioner, candidate for mayor. Thanks for your time, sir.